Good day guys, welcome back to my channel. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for clicking on the video, and of course we're going to be discussing a couple of things actually. The first thing that I'd like to just address is just some news that's been making the rounds in South Africa. We'll obviously discuss some of the conspiracy theories, and then we're going to go on to the team selection, which is really why you probably clicked on this video. But let's first go through the news that's been making the rounds. We've actually heard that South Africa might not be allowed to play, number one, under our flag, okay, and secondly, might not be allowed to sing our national anthem. That is ridiculous. All right, so let's first off, I just want to address the Minister of Sports, Zizi Kodwa. I just want to say, Minister, you are a disgrace to your position, and you are embarrassing the South African public, the South African sportsmen and women that's worked years and years to get to this position, all whilst you had almost 3 years, right, to fix the legislation that was around anti-doping that you've been given a chance for. And I know that you came out and said to everybody, you are aware of the problem, you're making emergency calls, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's be honest, you couldn't do it in 3 years. We've got 8 days left, and the chances are that we're probably not going to be able to do that. So can I just tell you that you are a disgrace to your position, and I hope you actually get fired for this, to be honest, because this is unacceptable to anybody in the public. And you are a public service, sir. You get paid by South African tax money. Okay, and you're making this type of job, you can't even do your job, to be honest. Okay, you want to tell us, okay, but there's so many rules that needs to be amended, blah, 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 okay, and laws that needs to be amended and so forth and so on. We know, okay, but once again, you had almost 3 years to do so. Okay, so honestly, you're a disgrace. Okay, then let's quickly go through the conspiracy theories about the whole Scotland-Ireland game. So let's be honest, okay? The reason why I'm even having this conversation is beyond me, okay? Because I can't understand why people would even think this type of cuck out of their minds, okay? How they can even think this up, I don't understand, okay? Ireland is on a winning streak, okay? They're about to, very soon, probably break the record for most consecutive wins. Okay, they're a proud nation. Okay, the UK might be the UK, but they all have animosity with each other. Okay, so Ireland and Scotland, they're not sitting around the same fire every night being chommies. Okay, so the fact is they're very competitive. They're playing against each other in the Six Nations. There's no chance in hell that Ireland will throw the game, because of, as well, if let's say it goes through to a kickoff, okay, where Scotland needs to get that additional 3 points to make it to 21, but they missed the kick. Okay, if they missed that kick, that means that Ireland is out. Okay, so there's just too many variables that can go wrong. Okay, so it's a nonsense, bullshit conspiracy theory. Okay, Ireland is going to beat Scotland. I am 100% sure of it. Okay, and I know, no offense to Scotland, they're a great team, and everybody in Scotland is obviously very positive for Scotland. They have their best chance they ever had. They're in the best position they've ever been. Okay, but I just don't see it happening. Okay, they haven't beaten Ireland in 8 games. Okay, and their average game difference in terms of score is about 13 points. Okay, so number one, because of that fact, also, I don't imagine that Ireland and Scotland will have a high-scoring game that will allow them to push out the Springboks. Okay, because it needs to be something like 50-something, 30-something scoreline for South Africa to be beaten. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's just throw that in the dustbin, forget about it. Okay, Ireland's beating Scotland, South Africa is going to go through, probably in second place, and that means we will be facing France, which leads me to why I'm doing a team selection to face France in the quarterfinals. Right, so this is my opinion, who I think needs to face France, and I do believe that this will in fact be probably very close, maybe 1 or 2 players off. But anyways, my prediction for my team to face France is the front row: Steven Kitshoff, Bongi Mbonambi, and Frans Malherbe. Okay, now we know that Malcolm Marx is injured and is unlikely to return. So in that regard, Steven Kitshoff, Bongi Mbonambi, Frans Malherbe, I think they are the perfect front row to start the game off, really put South Africa on the front foot. Those two scrummages on the outsides, they just fantastic. All right, so Steven Kitshoff has obviously proven for years and years. I can't believe he's going to, I think, Ulster. All right, it just doesn't make sense to me. He needs to be in Province. That's where I know him. That's where we love him. But anyways, big loss for Province, in my opinion. Frans Malherbe, of course, unsung hero. This guy doesn't look in any way or form or shape that he is as fit as he is, but still he plays a good game. And Bongi Mbonambi, probably at the moment, our first-rate hooker, and I think he is a fantastic hooker. In fact, he was one of my number one players for many years. And of course, he brings a lot of leadership capability to the team as well, which is fantastic. And he really knows also how to speak to the refs, so which I enjoy. Then my locking duo, I would say Eben Etzebeth and Franco Mostert. So Eben Etzebeth, of course, we've known for many years that he is the number one lock in the country and probably in the world. All right. I know there's a lot of videos that comparing him to Otoje and comparing him to the guys from Ireland and the guy. In my opinion, best lock in the world, Eben Etzebeth. Then Franco Mostert, I do believe that he has worked himself into that starting position, number 5 jersey. This guy, I don't think he gets the props that he should be. For 80 minutes, he works hell of a hard every single game, and he is just a nuisance all around the park. So defensive structures that this guy plays is just awesome. So I think last year that Lothar Jager was still playing, Franco Mostert even was my favorite between the two. So, man, this guy plays well. Anyways, back row. Siya Kolisi, number 6 jersey, once again captaining my team that I selected here, and Pieter-Steph du Toit on the number 7 jersey, and the number 8 jersey, which I don't think anybody is really going to be surprised about, Dwayne Vermeulen. Okay, Siya Kolisi, of course, he's been playing like he never left, like he was never injured, playing very well on defense, very well on attack, slotting into that back line as like a second or third receiver. He's all over the park, and I enjoy the way he plays. And a lot of people, I've seen videos that say Siya Kolisi is not one of the best. He is, in my opinion, one of the best flankers in South Africa. All right, and what he brings in terms of leadership and getting the guys really inspired in our team, that to me is what makes him probably one of the best captains we've ever had. Obviously, I mentioned Pieter-Steph du Toit playing the best rugby he's been playing. I think probably the same form than what he had in 2019 that made him that player of the year. So really happy to see him there. It's just also a nuisance to everybody, nuisance to the number 10 jersey of the opposition, and really good on attack, good on defense, all the way around. Then that I mentioned Dwayne Vermeulen. I think this is his last hurrah, of course, his last World Cup, and I do believe he'll hang up his boots right after the World Cup, and he might actually slot into a type of role of coaching and that type of thing. So I am looking forward to what this guy would bring to the party as well, even in that coaching role. But really, he's still playing some of his best rugby at the moment, and I think really just he's got that mental temperament. He never really has an off game, right? Where Jasper Wiese, one game is fantastic and good runner, good player, good under the high ball. But some games he's a little bit off. I don't know why. But I do believe he will be the star of the future. But Dwayne Vermeulen at the moment, he's consistent every single game. He's a nuisance on the breakdown. So really we need him there, right? Then halfbacks. Now this is where when we start considering the back line, where it becomes a bit dicey in terms of my selection. But I said on the halfbacks, Faf de Klerk and Andre Pollard to start, right? I do believe that them as a combination is a very good combination. We've seen it in the World Cup 2019, and they've got such a rich history with each other that and playing together so many times that really you cannot partner a different type of pair over there, right? Andre Pollard, of course, defensive kicking, attacking kicking, he's just fantastic. And of course, we saw in the last game that he played, he's just a monster at the kicking tee as well. And then of course Faf de Klerk is one of the best defensive number 9s in the world. Not the fastest, but one of the best defensive readers, and really his kicks is also good usually. So really you can't pair a different combination there. My center pairing, now as I mentioned, this is also a little bit of a iffy one. Damien de Allende and Lukhanyo Am. Right, we've seen in the history what these two can do together. Really a great, fantastic combination. If Lukhanyo Am is fit enough to play, right, I would select these two together. In fact, my whole center combination would be different if Lukhanyo Am wasn't playing. Okay, I would not have gone Damien de Allende and Jesse Kriel together if Lukhanyo Am wasn't playing. Then I was going to go for Andre Esterhuizen and Kane Moody. But in this regard, because Lukhanyo Am is an option, I'm going Damien de Allende, hard-running individual. We saw that game against Ireland. He ran over people a few times, and Lukhanyo Am's defensive reads is just fantastic. He might not have been at his peak this last while since his previous injury, but still his defensive reading capabilities on that and marshalling the guys around the field and for that defensive line is still next level. So really a good combination. Now my outside backs I selected the following. I would say number 11 Cheslin Kolbe, number 14 Kane Moody, and number 15 Damian Willemse. All right, so we've seen a number of games in the last couple of weeks, especially where Damian Willemse played and where Willie Leroux played. And let's be honest, Damian Willemse has surpassed Willie Leroux. All right, he is just a superior player at the moment. I do believe it is just because maybe Willie Leroux is getting a little bit older, probably towards the last part of his career, and Damian Willemse is really starting to come into his own. He's really a defensive maestro, an attacking maestro, fancy feet, X-Factor top player, right? So Damian Willemse definitely has my nod as the starting number 15. And then of course Cheslin Kolbe. What can you say about Cheslin Kolbe that everybody doesn't already know? Fleet-footed, attacking monster, so really slippery as hell. And of course Kane Moody has really also showed his ability on the field. So those guys I do believe is going to be the outside backs. And now once I start telling you about my replacements, you can understand why I put these combinations on the starting, right? When we have a look at our replacements, Deon Fourie, Oxenchair and Trevor Nyakane. Now, to be honest, I would probably start Oxenchair and Trevor Nyakane any day, all right? The only problem is that for me, Deon Fourie is way too small to fit in between Steven Kitsoff and Frans Malherbe. And I would 100% start Bongi Mbonambi. So that's why that combination is there. All right. So that's why I'm putting Deon Fourie, Oxenchair, Trevor Nyakane, 16, 17, 18 position. All right. To me, those two, Oxenchair, Trevor Nyakane, when they start scrumming, the other team starts losing. Always. So really, to me, two of the best scrummages in the world. Okay. And Deon Fourie, snuggle in between them. They're all really short players. I think it's going to just work for the scrummaging that they need to do. Then I would say two locks on the bench as well. Ergis Nem and John Klein. Munster combination. Really, they've proven why they need to be there, right? I would go with them every single day as a replacement duo for the Springboks. My number 21 jersey, I don't think anybody can dispute it. This man always needs to be on the bench. Okay. Now a lot of people would like to see him start, but I think he's just explosive off the bench, and of course he's so versatile in different positions that he can play that we have to have him. Like, he is crucial to me to a 6-2 split, and that is the man, Kwagga Smith. probably my favorite player at the moment of all the Springboks. But yes, fantastic player. We know why he needs to be there. Then this is where I mentioned earlier why you would start to also understand why I put the back line the way I did. My number 22 and 23 jersey, Grant Williams and Manie Libbok. So why did I do this? Okay, so we don't know if Andre Pollard can play a full game yet, number one. Number two, we probably would want the last 20 minutes to have an attacking maestro. So, and that's where Manie Libbok really knows how to unlock a back line. I think he needs to be off the bench. And of course, his kicking tee is also improved by so much when he comes off the bench for some reason. I think it's maybe the pressure that's off, that we've already maybe built some scoreboard pressure, and he can come on and really just do what he needs to do, right? Then Grant Williams. Why did I put Grant Williams there? I put Grant Williams because of the simple fact that he is also a versatile player. He can play wing, he can play a 9, and he can replace Faf de Klerk, or he can replace one of the wings if, touch wood, somebody gets injured. Okay, and of course he can go into wing. Let's say if a centre gets injured, like Lukhanyo Amlet can't play the full game, and Kane Moody can then move into that number 13 jersey, and meaning that the number 14 jersey is then open for Grant Williams. So I think that is really, in my opinion, the perfect team to complement each other and to be able to be also a little bit more to the degree of where we can have more options on the bench as well, on that 6-2 split. So anyways, that is my team selection to face Ireland, France, to face Ireland. Why do I keep saying Ireland? That's a premonition, I think, for the final. But for France, I do believe that is the correct selection for France. I think we've got enough in this team to beat France. Look, it's going to be a hard game. It's also, obviously, the French has got a very good team and home field advantage. That probably gives them 5 or 6 points. So, yeah, tough game, but I think we can do it. We've got the players. And I'm looking forward to seeing this play off, right? I still believe, and I know there's been a lot of talk this last week that Ireland's going to fall out in the quarters against New Zealand. I don't think so. I think Ireland's going to beat New Zealand, and I think we will face, of course, France, and I think we will have it in us to beat France. Which means that we're going to go into the semis very confident, and I think it's quite funny that in my circles anyways, I don't know about you guys' circles, right, but I guess it depends where you're from in the world, but nobody's really talking about Pool C and D as real competitors for the World Cup. It's really that Pool A and Pool B, so that's going to be interesting, because on the day England has it in them to be able to put a match-winning performance on. I don't think it's likely at the moment. I don't think they've got the form they need for their players, but you never know. You just never know. But we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing the quarters. I don't know. Tell me you guys' thoughts about this team selection. Tell me your thoughts about this whole issue with this disgrace of Zizi Kodwa. I don't even want to call him minister. And I guess it's freedom of speech. I can call him whatever I want. And of course, the conspiracy theories. Tell me you guys' thoughts about all these type of topics. What do you think? Feel free to leave it in the comment. Agree with me, disagree with me. It's whatever it is. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. I will be posting another video in about 2 days, which will be relating to what I believe the way forward is for the World Cup after, of course, all the pool games have concluded. And then, of course, we will also go through some of the key points that stood out in the pool games, maybe discuss a couple of the refs as well with some of their very questionable calls. And yeah, we're going to go through all of that, maybe see some of the upsets, maybe discuss those guys as well. So yeah, that's going to be quite interesting video. I think that will be quite a long video as well. But yes, I look forward to seeing everybody in the comment section. I've also started a WhatsApp group or channel, so feel free to join me there. I shared it the other day on my channel as well. Feel free to see us there, and of course feel free to go and check out my podcast that I'm one of the co-hosts with my friend Keith from Fairweather Rugby Fan, where we discuss everything and anything between South Africa and the USA, all the differences, all the similarities, and sometimes we just sit there talking a lot of shit. So yes, feel free to check us out there. We are on all the great platforms such as iTunes. On Spotify, Deezer. You can find us all over there. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys again, and have a fantastic day and be blessed. Ciao.